Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome back to The Truth, where today we're going to talk about a little bit of the future of the channel and some college football news. Now, typically today, I would be uploading my video for my rankings, doing my rankings, comparing my rankings to college football and all of that. Well, it's bowl week, so there are no top 25 teams who have won, who have lost, and all of that stuff. With that being said, the future of this channel for the next video after the college football season ends is going to be a video comparing last season's top 25 teams, where they were, where they are now, and then this season's top 25 teams, where they were, where they are now. And if any of these teams have improved, if they're taking the right strides forward, or if they're not, they're falling backwards. With that being said, that video will come out maybe the day after, maybe a couple days after the national championship. Whoever wins, that's kind of what I'm waiting on, just because it's like, well, how far is Bama gonna go? How far is Michigan gonna go? It's really gonna get interesting. So that's why I'm really kind of waiting off on that. Other than that, let's get into some college football news, since this is gonna be a college football video. Some quarterbacks who are really highly recruited on the transfer right now is Cam Ward, who's arguably the best one, number one ranking, Kyle McCord, and Riley Leonard. These three guys are guys who can definitely step up your program, but it's hard to say where some of these guys are going to go, just because we don't have a lot of information right now. It's more of kind of a wait and see, and we'll, whatever happens is what happens. Going into next, we'll look at this. Is Washington America's team in college football? I want to talk about this topic just because it's a good question. Is Washington America's team? Now, from what everyone's been saying, Dallas, the Cowboys, are America's team, if we're looking at the NFL. Of course, Dallas is America's team. Well, what makes Dallas so special? Big area, big spotlight, and whenever they were being called America's team, they were winning Super Bowls, getting rings, and all of that. Well, Washington is a very big place, and Washington hasn't won a bunch of national championships. Now, Alabama has won a bunch of national championships, but they aren't that big of a spotlight. And if you're looking at it throughout all the actual United States geographically. So that, I don't necessarily say I agree with Washington being America's team. Now, is Washington the team America is rooting for? Because those are two different things. America's team is the team that everyone looks for, or majority of the country is watching, rooting for, starting from the season throughout year after year after year. Washington wasn't that. Now, is this the underdog story that everyone wants to see, that everyone's looking for? Possibly, probably, maybe, I don't know. And if that's the question that you're asking, then yeah, I could see you. Sorry, apologize for that. Sorry, I could see you make that argument. But saying Washington could be America's team or is America's team, I don't necessarily agree with that. Next year's Heisman. We're gonna talk about the Heisman this year and Jaden Daniels. Do I think he was the best quarterback this season? I haven't gone over the film yet. Eventually, I will make videos on this. I'm not sure. Statistically, do I think he's the best quarterback? Yes. What sets him apart from all the other quarterbacks is, sure, some might have a little bit more yards than him, but Jaden Daniels in a rushing game, his ability to scramble, his ability to run the football, with the added touchdowns of the rushing touchdowns, the lack of turnovers, not a lot of turnovers. That's what makes him statistically so great. It's just because, one, he takes care of the ball majority of the time, and two, he's adding another dimension to that offense, to that LSU offense. And he took the LSU offense to levels above and beyond. And that's why I think he won the Heisman this year. The Peach Bowl, that's going to be a fun one to watch, a little highlight. It's going to be Ole Miss versus Penn State. In my personal opinion, I do think, I'm not sure who's going to be playing, but I do think if we're comparing starter to starter, give me Ole Miss. I think Ole Miss has a lot more firepower and a lot more recruits and a lot more talent. This is going to be big because there's always been this debate now that's starting out. It's always happened with these higher, how should I say this, with these sports media people. Richard Sherman played college football, played NFL, and now he's becoming someone who talks about it. Says the SEC falls off, SEC has fallen off. Well, these SEC bowl games that they're playing, the semifinals, national championship, those are important games to really see. Okay, has the SEC fallen off, or are they still as dominant as ever? Look, you have 6 teams who are top 25 in the college football playoffs. That's by the committee. I don't remember in the AP top 25 polls, but that's by the committee. So that's something really to watch. The Oregon versus Liberty matchup, in all honesty, Oregon's going to mop the floor with Liberty. And that's not me trying to be mean. That's not me trying to hate on Liberty. In fact, I've been a big upvoter of Liberty. It's just the fact that Oregon's way more talented. Let's talk about Colorado and their interesting story. So Colorado was a team who we really didn't think was going to go crazy this season. And at the end of the day, we were right. They didn't. 3 wins is where they, 3 or 4 wins, I think, is where they ended up. And that's kind of what people thought. But to have just rattled 3 wins off in the beginning, maybe it was the fact that it was Dion. Maybe it was the fact that it was just Colorado being able to do that. Maybe a combination of those factors is the reason we think that happened. I don't know. But this was a case of overhyping. Now, does Colorado have a very bright future with Dion? Yes. His ability to recruit athletes is incredible. And he's going to do that. And he's going to take the talent that Colorado really never had and take them to another level. I think that's going to be great for Colorado. As long as you're showing improvement, you'll get more and more recruits. Coaching carousels are going on FBS. Really going through this, I will talk about Drake May's season this year, but that's going to be another video. Leatu Latu won't play in the LA Bowl. It's impactful, but not crazy impactful. South Carolina. I think this one's pretty interesting. TCU hires former Boise State coach Andy Avalos as DC. TCU's defense took a step back this year, I think. I think mainly it's because of lack of talent. They didn't have the athletes at some position that they wish they could. And I feel like that's one of the big things. But yes, they also got beat schematically a lot. And I feel like the addition of, or the attempt to add Andy, sorry if I'm butchering this, Avalos, is to fill that scheme that was kind of put in bad positions, and also to help develop these guys into better defensive players. I want to talk about Michigan, but I'm not going to talk about any Michigan player. I'm actually going to talk about their head coach. There are lots of rumors going on right now that the head coach of Michigan will go coach in the NFL. I don't know how true that is, but I will say this. I don't think he'll go to the NFL until he wins the national championship, or unless he deems Michigan as a team that just can't win it. And he doesn't seem like that coach to me. He seems like a coach who's going to give it his all year in, year out. And, I really do think, though, like, this year is going to really tell if he's going to come back or not. Because if they lose close to it, he's going to want to come back, he's going to want to recruit, and he's going to want to go win it. Because that's the one thing Michigan hasn't done yet. They've gone those undefeated seasons. They've beaten Ohio State. They haven't won the national championship. And that's the big thing. I feel like if there was something holding him back from going to the NFL and coaching, it's that. It's that right there. I've kind of mentioned this earlier on. Is Alabama proved to be college football playoff worthy? Team-wise, yes. They're a very talented team. They're a very good team. Now, record-wise, no. And I'll say that first. Record-wise, they don't deserve it. But if we're going off of and how the college football playoff does it, based off of the 4 best teams at that time, then yes, they did. Alabama was one of the 4 best teams at this time. A lot of what upsets people is the fact that, Bama and Texas are undefeated. There are 2 teams who are undefeated and they got gypped. Mainly what's happening is the Florida, FSU. But here's the thing. The committee doesn't go off of records. Yes, it helps. But at the end of the day, their goal is to get the 4 best teams into the college football playoffs. And those are the 4 best teams they believe. That's that. I mean, you can't. That's how they go off of it. Is it right? No. Because I feel like you're doing a disservice and you're making it college football less parity. It's going to have less parity. You're not going to have as much of fun games in between or throughout college football. Because you're still rewarding the top 4 teams. You're still rewarding certain top 4 teams. Does Liberty, does FSU deserve to be in the college football playoffs? Yes. But at the end of the day, we all have to admit they're not part of the top 4 teams in the nation. And that's the honest truth. Scrolling a little bit down, here's something interesting. Clemson was a team who did pretty well this year. This will probably be the last topic we'll talk about. It's Clemson receiver. I don't know how to say his first name. Collins transferring to Notre Dame. Notre Dame has always been the school with bigger, I guess you could say, bigger receivers, physical receivers. Because they do like to run the football. And I'm not gonna lie, Notre Dame loves to run the football. But to have a Clemson receiver transfer, I think is something else. That's to get a guy of that talent. I think is really going to help this Notre Dame offense. It's really going to be interesting to see how they keep getting better. Notre Dame started out strong; they kind of fell off, but this will definitely help them and improve them and get them better. With that being said, let me know what you guys think on my takes. Do you agree with them? Do you not like them? Sorry, this is a short video. It's just it's kind of starting to get hard as I'm trying to wrap up college football and trying to transition to NFL and get all my NFL news and information and grades in and getting ready for the draft and everything because that's going to start coming around. It is a little bit difficult, but I'll be able to do it. Just let me know. Do you agree with my takes? Do you not? What do you think I got right? What do you think I got wrong? What are your opinions on it? Let me know in the comments down below. And I will see y'all next time.